Good afternoon, everybody.
What's
Hey,
up, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
hey, what's going on?
Watching this Ravens game.
Oh man, good, good, good. Just trying to get through this. Well, not get through the meeting. I'm, happy about having the meeting, but let me just yeah, just get through it.
What's
Yeah.
up with y'all?
You say what?
I said, what's up? What's up?
What's going on? I see we got Katie on here.
Good afternoon.
What's going on?
Hey everyone.
Hey,
Chilling,
all
enjoying
right.
the Sunday.
So we all
Cool. Let me make sure I am all set up right. Cool. So, man, we should go ahead and just get started, right? And hold on one sec. One sec. Everything is right. Everything is up. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. And so yeah, we got a big week coming up. We've been having big weeks for a while, so that's been the norm. So we're gonna go over the weekly market overview, chart setups, trade ideas, lessons learned, recap, upcoming earnings and economic events, Q&A, and closing remarks. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not trading advice. This session is solely for educational purposes. There are significant financial risk associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. Man, why it seem like I never read that before? It's like, so let me read it today, and then yeah, crazy. But yeah, we should have a good week, man. I'm looking forward to having a good week this week, man. So let's just get right into it, man. So look, last Friday. So when I say last Friday, I mean the Friday before the one that just passed. So let's say the third. So on the third, this is how we finish. This is how we finish with consumer discretionary as the only, as the leading sector, followed by technology, but they were barely green, but they were green nevertheless, right? We had materials neutral, communication services knocking at the door, and the worst performing sector was energy, utilities, financials, healthcare, and so on. So, right on the flip, we finished with real estate as the leading sector on Friday, followed by materials, communication services, consumer discretionary, financials. So look, but energy was still the worst performing sector both weeks, right? So just a few things to consider. So we got consumer staples all the way down here, and we got healthcare all the way down here, utilities all the way down here. So everybody know these are our non-cyclical sectors, the sectors that are defensive, the ones that when the market is in turmoil, people run in high money into these sectors, right? So those sectors were the worst performing sectors this week. And so just that being said, the market rallied, man. The market rallied last week, and we had a really strong meeting. FOMC. Powell came there, and it was a few key things that he said. So the last meeting before this one, Powell gave us a hawkish pause, and for this particular meeting, it was a dovish So hawkish, I'm trying to say the bird hawkish, and dove, the bird dovish. So I don't know why I can't talk today. And but yeah, we had a dovish pause this last time. And pretty much what Powell said was that, of course, he always says it's going to be based off the totality of the data that was coming in. And then look, the next day, well, not the next day, but yeah, was it the next day? Yeah, it was Wednesday. Yeah, so the next day after that, we got jobless claims came in. Unemployment was higher. So that's good for the Fed. The Fed wants that to happen. We're trying to get unemployment up to, they want unemployment up to 4%. That's crazy still that they're looking for that target. And then the non-farm payroll data came out on Friday. And so they were expecting 180K. They wanted the average payroll was, the 180K, right? So they were looking for 180K as the that was the consensus, right? And it came in at 150. So it was substantially lower. And then on top of that, they revised, as we know they always do, they revised the previous ones for the month before. They revised that down as well. So yeah, it's a lot going on, man. Just let the team know we are live. One second, just sending this message out to the team, let them know we are live. I see a lot of you are here, but just gonna go ahead and send this message out. And I think we will be fine, but I'm just sending it out anyhow. One sec.
What's
But
up,
yeah,
bro?
man, we had a crazy day.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, Mr. Radway, congratulations on the new baby.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, man, we had a really interesting keep hitting the mute button. But yeah, look, so we had a really interesting week. And then so back to Wednesday though. So Wednesday, the market rallied ahead of the FOMC, the Fed decisions. Typically what happens is the market consolidates heading into a Fed decision because you don't know what's going to happen. They were, in deliberation for 2 days in a row, and then he come up with that decision, and and but yeah, it was really good, and it didn't sound like they want to raise rates anymore. That's what it doesn't sound like they want to raise rates, but if they have to, they will. So of course they left the door open. The market rallied, and it was a pretty good thing to see. But yeah, so we had all of that information, and then the data that came out following supported the information that we were looking for. So that's good. Look like with because basically we've been seeing all of the effects of them tightening their balance sheet, right? So pretty much everybody knows that, during COVID, they put a lot of money into the economy to keep it going, to keep the system going. So not just stimulus checks, but other places got, bailed out and stuff like that, just to keep the system going. And they said we didn't have to pay that money back, but we did pay that back. Basically, we're paying it back now by inflation. But what they're doing is they're tightening to get inflation under control. So they're taking that money back out of the system. And yeah, just a lot of stuff going on that happened. A lot of things happened last week, and that pretty much was really monumental and instrumental in everything that we saw happen, that we saw take place. Now, going into this week, it's a lot of stuff. Look, so yeah, even with Apple, man. So Apple came out, they beat earnings, but it was the China stuff, man. The forecast for China, we don't know. Is a big part of the iPhone revenue comes from China. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and that was the reason why the stock was slumped. But they bought that dip back up the next day, pretty much, for Apple. And I'm gonna show you, that's one of the top charts that I have to show y'all this week. So we got a lot to go over, but I'm gonna show y'all this Apple chart too. And I'm trying to find something. So that's what I'm doing right now. A second. But yeah, I think we have a really big week ahead of us. I'm excited about this week, and I'm not sure about y'all, but I'm really excited about this week, this upcoming week. And I'm looking forward to the volatility. I'm looking forward to a few things, but I really think that that one of the main things that led everything that we had going on. And my bad, I'm almost done. I'm just trying to find this chart, and I had it queued up and I can't find it. But yeah, but like one of the biggest things for me on the first. So when was the first of the month? I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning. And I was waiting for this for a while though. That the bond, the bill issuance or whatever. The pretty much for people that don't know, the U.S. Treasury, they boost their refunding by 9 billion, and from by 9 billion to 112. What was the what were they expecting? I think it was 114, and that was a good thing, because pretty much like I was telling y'all before, what that meant was the government was issuing more short-term debt, right? And that would speed up the process of taking the money out of the system. So instead of them to have to keep on just tightening, and we're looking forward to them just to continue tightening, what they're doing now is going to speed up the tightening process. So eventually, instead of getting these rate hikes, we'll be getting rate cuts eventually, So that's a good thing. That's what really made the market run. That started the whole rally, and that was on Wednesday morning. And Powell didn't speak until later, so the market ran ahead of the FOMC. So yeah, just wanted to kind of hit on that, because it's always good to know why the market is running, and that's why I was so bullish on the market as opposed to being tentative heading into Powell's decision. And you know how we fade the initial move. That played out lovely. All right, so as far as options order flow, on Friday, the top options order flow went to NVIDIA, followed by Meta, then AMD, and then KD's stock, EMPH, and then there's Peter's ETF, TLT. On the put side, on the put side on Friday, we had HYG, Tesla, Apple, EFA, and Amazon as the top performing. Well, I'm sorry, the stocks with the highest put options flow, right? So, and then on the week, for the whole week, Microsoft led the market in the options order flow, call flow, followed by Amazon, NVIDIA, General Electric, and Ford. On the put side, we had Tesla, TMO, Meta, CAT, and Morgan Stanley. Okay, why is Morgan Stanley on there? But I mean, I guess I get why Morgan Stanley would be on there. Anybody got any thoughts or questions about this before I move on? All right, cool. All right, cool. So yeah, last week was a interesting week, man. I didn't call out a lot of trades last week. I kind of like chilled last week. I only called out 2 trades. That was on $1,000 Thursday and then Lotto Friday. One was a Tesla call, so that was the first. Now I've been trading Meta all week, so I know it was probably an expectation to get Meta, but my thought process was, which trade has the most room to run? And the one that had the most room to run was Tesla, because it took off on Thursday morning, right? But it gave us that reset, and I knew where it was going. I'm gonna show y'all the chart when we get to the Tesla chart, because that's one of the charts we're gonna hit. And then yeah, so that trade, it ran, man. So those contracts went from $130 up to $670, I believe. Yeah, for a $540 profit per option. That was a nice trade. And then on Friday, yeah, third was Friday, right? Yeah. I alerted a Meta trade. So I alerted a 320 call for Meta, but I didn't call out, although we were trading for Lotto Friday, I didn't call out Friday's expiry, because first of all, it wasn't a trade that I was I actually posted a trade on Twitter and Facebook, and pretty much in a group on Thursday night for a Lotto Friday Meta trade. It was the 315 Meta calls for $78 per option. Those contracts went up over $100 and something that Friday morning. But yeah, but the official trade was this one. I called this one out around 12:30, and this was a swing trade. These calls went up 40%, but my thought process was to swing these into next week. And excuse me, I'm gonna show y'all why in a minute. It was a really nice setup on Meta, like what I'm seeing. And if this and pretty much historically and seasonality, September is a great month for Meta. It's a great month for a lot of stocks, a great month for the stock market. They say, yeah, so the market pretty much runs. It's obviously nothing doesn't go straight up, but I'm gonna show y'all some charts in a second. Let me just kind of get through this, man. Didn't really go through anything. Yeah, I didn't update these slides. These are the ones from last week, just but from last month, pretty much how much money we made last month. And yeah, we killed last month. We crushed last month. All right, so recap and lessons learned, man. So last week, man, it was a great start of November, a great start of November, and a lot happened last week. A lot happened last week, from AMD earnings to what is it? What was it? Fubo earnings, or no, Roku earnings, Apple. We had a lot of stuff that happened last week. So does anybody have any lessons learned or recap or anything they just want to mention that kind of happened last week? Could be good, bad, something you just want to share that happened in the market.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
I know. Oh, go ahead, KD.
Nah, I like how Friday played out with the non-farm payroll. That was pretty much Thursday. Kind of gave us a hint when like the jobless claims was really low. I mean, it was high, and then the previous week was really high as well. So it sounded like it had to happen. It had to go up, and that's what the market did. And like you said, I didn't even realize you had on Twitter Meta, but I decided to grab that too. But that was good. It did really well, and the market, did what it had to do.
Yeah, that was a pretty good week. Yeah, no, that was good because Katie, you mentioned it the day before. You said that you were bullish on the NFP. I was bullish too, but I hadn't mentioned it. You mentioned that you were bullish on NFP, and yeah, and that pretty
I
much
saw I
played
saw a
out.
stat. I saw a stat somewhere like it said that like the first Friday of November is usually like the most bullish day. I think I told you something like that. They said it was only been down like 2 times,
Oh,
like
damn.
the last 15 years or something like that. So
Okay.
that's crazy. I literally saw it like a day before, and I was like, "Oh man, that's worth a try, worth a gamble." But it worked
Oh, yeah.
out.
No, absolutely. And so me though, like I'm a hedge the NFP regardless because it's a volatile thing. But I'm always go in favor of the side that I'm going for. So yeah, that was good. That was pretty good. It played out perfectly. Really, really great end of the week.
It was a good week, man. Good week.
Yeah, great week. And now KK, you were gonna say something?
No, this was watching Microsoft. Microsoft ran like a bat out of hell as well on Friday, but it's been slowly, I don't know, it's been doing good all week, but it was ready to break out once it got to where it got over that gap that it had been holding for a while. It ran through that, and which was something you had told us once they got up there by 350, it was going to take off. It hit 350 and ran $4 right after that. So made
No,
a
that
few
was good.
dollars. Good move.
No, that was good. That was good. That was great. That was actually a great. I'm glad you stuck with it. I mean, I know you always watching it anyhow, but I'm glad you stuck with it. Yeah. So yeah, on I say when was it? Yeah, Thursday. Was it Thursday going into Friday? Thursday going into Friday. Yeah, Thursday going into Friday. I traded Fortinet earnings, right? It just seemed like I was just going over the data. I always analyze data and stuff like that, and I had a lot of time to do that this week. And I played this. I played the 50 puts, and I had the November 17th expiry for this play as well, and the stock dropped all the way down to 44. And so I turned $70 into over 500 and something dollars. So I made, well, pretty much I made a $500 profit on that on Friday. I played Roku. Now I don't play a lot of earnings. I normally play the main ones, but when I got time to research their fundamentals and look at what the probability of the stock really, and it's not with the talking heads on TV or what they're saying on Twitter or anything or in those books. I just kind of really look at the actual data to see what the possibility or the chance of them hitting what they're expecting or stuff like that is. It's not always accurate, right? But I had two trades that I played like that. I had Roku, and they had re-rated Roku down so badly, and everybody was betting against it. So I grabbed some calls for the November 17th expiry. This was on Tuesday, and on Wednesday I made I know that was over $500 something profit on that initially, and then so I had three contracts, and I ended up making like $1,600 on that, and I got out too early because I forgot that I had the expiry for November 17th because I'm so used to hopping out of earnings so you don't get IV crushed. And so I ended up getting back in that trade, but I traded the same week expiry. It was on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, we were in Wednesday or in Thursday. It was one of those days. And I ended up making an extra $400 in the trade before just, and I wasn't trying to be too greedy, but I knew I had gotten out of that trade too early. And I'm like, it looked like it wants to get up to 79. And so it went up there, hit my target. I got the hell out of the trade and kept it moving. I didn't look back, but it played out pretty well. But to Meta, because I mean, it was a lot going on, man. Now, does anybody else that was just something that I wanted to share from last week. But the one thing me talking about it, but what I wanted to share all of that and saying was it's important to just take your profit, man, because I could have made, although like with the Fortinet position, right? I could have made, I made 500 and something dollars per option on that trade on Friday. I swung it. It was an earnings trade. I swung Friday, and then Friday I could have made a lot more money, but I did not take the profit. I was looking for more because of, they had a bad earnings, number one, but a lot of the other stocks in that sector, like Snow and what's the other one? It's a few of them, but they started to move and rally, and then they started to buy the dip on Fortinet, and it started to move up. And so I should have just took all of my profit off of that trade initially, and I would have made, a lot more than what I did on the trade. So how it's so crazy because what I did, I said all this to say this. So what I did with Roku, what I did with that, by taking my profit initially, although I had the November 17th expiry, that wasn't a bad thing because look, if I think the stock is going to continue to move higher and it can actually because this was the thing. I got to go to the chart just to kind of, this stuff, the lessons learned is always important to me because no matter how great you are in this, you can always make a lot more money if you learn from things that you can do better and see what you can do better. That's what I'm all about, seeing what I can do better. So yeah, this was the earnings right here, right? And that's crazy because on Friday, I totally ignored Roku on Friday. I told the team that they could trade that on that day too, man. So anyway, I could have, that was a big move on Friday that it made too. But look, so check this out. So this was the initial, go to the session, go to the hourly here. So, all right, here we go. So this was the day after earnings right here when it gapped up and everything. So so we gap up this high. I'm up, I could take profit, right? I did take profit. But what I said was I zoomed out, I looked at the weekly chart and a few other things. And I'm like, you know what? I think that we can go up to at least 79. I think I had my level was at 79 because I still got it right here. I'm like, we can go up to 79 at least. And so I took my initial profit because the stock ran, well, how many dollars was that? They closed at pretty much at let's say they closed at $60 on Friday and opened at 70.95. So it was $11 move up. Took that initial profit, but I felt like it can go higher after I examined the situation, got back in, and the stock ran another, yeah, that was a nice move, like another $8. And it did it that same day. Then I took the profit. But that was the best move to make the way I did it that time. So although I had more time on it, it don't matter how much time you got on the trade. Let's say if it's not going to go that way, it's not going to go that way. And if you can always get back in if you think it's going to go higher. But my calls went in the money and that was the move. I hit my target. I should have been out. And that's what I did. But like I said, I didn't repeat that process with the Fortinet position. After when I let it move a little bit and it started to go up. So I burned because of IV, even though you get an expiry that's further out, the IV is still elevated on those trades too. It just may not be as high as the IV on the trades for that week, but the IV is still elevated. And if the stocks start to go the other way, the IV starts they rip it from those contracts too. It's just the impact is not as strong. So it's just still important to keep that in mind. And so yeah, Roku was one of KD stocks too, man. So I see why you like that stock, man, because those contracts printed.
It's not mine anymore.
Yeah, well, it's mine now.
But it's good after the earnings play. That was dope.
Yeah, so I like trading anything that got a good setup. I'll trade it. So, anybody else got anything they want to share? Any lessons learned or recap or anything from last week, or just anything they want to put out there?
Yeah, I was going to just say it was it was a really good week trading for one. And then it was good. We had some days. We had a lot of catalysts last week, of course, with the FOMC and the jobless claims and the non-farm payroll and everything. It was definitely a good week trading. Made a decent amount of money. Was in some Tesla plays. Meta Lotto Friday was great. A lot of good vibes in the chat and everything. We saw you in them earnings plays and you was active in the chat after hours, giving us a lot of information on what was going on. So that was really cool as well. But of course, it's still some we still see some people in the chat asking for the plays and everything like that. But I would just say, like, for any of those people, like all these catalysts is going to happen again. So between now and the next time is the time that get educated and be ready for next time, because all these companies gonna have earnings again. Non-farm payroll gonna happen again. FOMC gonna happen again. So if it's not your best week yet, so I've been here when doing some spy plays during COVID times when it's 100 and 1,000 overnight. But yeah, I would just say anybody who didn't make a whole ton of money, just be ready for next time.
Yeah, no, that's good feedback. Good feedback. Appreciate that, man. And yeah, and congrats on the Tesla play. I saw you, man. I saw you. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. And I was on if you look back, I was on the bot typing in Tesla a couple times. You told us to keep an eye on them on the bots and stuff. So you see Friday morning 9:58. I'm looking at Tesla. I was looking at the options data. I had my 220, man. I was ready. And when you called it out, there's no doubt I was going to hold that thing overnight. So, yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, so you heard what he said, though. Something that key point that he said, man. A lot of the best traders in this group, they utilize the bots that's available to help you with support and resistance if you need it, or they let you know what the order flow is like and the stock, let you know exactly what the algo flow is and things of that sort. You need to know this stuff. And again, like I pay for all of that stuff for y'all to use it free, and y'all have access to it to use it for free. So I would take advantage of all of that stuff, man, and use it to your advantage, because you can make a lot of money if, let's just say, you got a good chart set up and you feel something in your soul, and then you go and run the numbers on it, and you see, damn, like that it's the highest call flow of the day of that particular stock, or the worst, the highest put options flow for the day is on that stock, or the algo flow shows that it's bearish, or you see a lot of money going into one particular strike, or you just looking at the order flow, I mean the support and resistance spot, lining that up with the trading checklist, and you see like, oh damn, this is a key level right here and I didn't even know it, or something. So it's good to have that information, because I can alert a trade all day. But if you were doing your due diligence too on a specific stock, and or you can see exactly or understand why I called this trade out, then you like, oh shit, it's going to give you more confidence in that trade. You may go larger on the trade. You may decide to it's just it's a few ways to look at it. It's a few ways to look at it, but the main thing for me is just being able to know when to use what, and to synchronize that stuff, because again, everything just so happened to fall in place last week. Sometimes we haven't had an FOMC that played out like that in a while. No, actually, last one did to the downside. It did, and then the market moved the same way. But I'm saying that it was just we had the whole market, man. Everything moved in unison. We had the data that came out that morning that was bullish as hell. Then Fed came out bullish, and he was just it was clearly bullish, and it was a lot of things that we saw. Then like Katie said, the jobless claims, and then non-farm, and then like even Dolo said, the non-farm payroll. All of that stuff just so happened to play out great, and right at a time of year where it's supposed to play out great, right? So yeah, but we had a great week. But I like that, man. I like that when you're using those tools, but you see, look, man, it produced wins too, because like I said, it's all about confidence. I can put you, if you can't swim deeper than 3 feet and you with Michael Phelps out in 8 feet, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be any use. He's saying, man, we're going out here to fight, man. We're going out here to go fish and make some money. And if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be much help to Phelps. You're just gonna be dead weight. So you should only be in places where you're comfortable. The way to get more comfortable is to utilize those other resources and build that, so you can know what's going on too, So we fear the unknown. So yeah, that's just something that can really help you out a whole lot moving forward. So yeah, so now, but kudos to you for that, Dolo. And yeah, anybody else?
I wanted to speak on last week. Last week was a good week. I took it upon myself to start fresh. I cleared my account and I started with $100, and I came out green, up 600. So, and
Congrats.
I told myself that I will only follow your plays and do plays off of your commentary in the chat and your tweets on Twitter. And I still made a couple mistakes. I could have had a lot more profits, but I already know, but when it's different when you actually do it, that you don't need a lot of money to make a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I like that. No, congrats, bro. That's really big. And like you don't downplay it, because I think it was great. What you did was great. You finished green, because look, let me tell y'all, man. So look, what happens a lot of times, man, like options will bruise your ego in a minute, man. Let's say you took a loss, you took a 500 loss on Monday, you took a $200 loss on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday you hit for $200, and then on Friday you hit for $300, right? So you just seeing, damn, I ended out the week with a $300 profit. Nah, you didn't, because you have a $200 net loss for the week. So it's really important. So people forget about the losses when they have a few wins, and they just shake off the losses, when you should study those losses and see why you lost. But yeah, so finishing the week green, that's big. That's the first week of the month. You finished it green, and anything that happened before last week it doesn't even matter, because whatever you did last week, it worked, and you finished green. So congrats, man. Everybody should Yeah, bro. Shout out for that. I think that was a great thing that you did, bro. I'm proud of you. And yeah, keep up that great work, man. That's like
Yeah,
at a time.
a year old man.
I
That's what's up.
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. You know,
Yeah.
do it without you, but then it's hard trying not to revenge trade. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to just throwing money in account and trying to hit big. But instead, you know what I'm saying? I tried a different way and I see the progress. You know what I'm saying? It'll help me learn and really know what I'm doing. So I appreciate you, man.
No problem, no problem. I'm glad it's clicking. I'm glad you locking in, man. It's this only the beginning.
Yeah,
It's only the beginning. So yeah,
yeah,
man.
good afternoon. I just want to say congrats too.
Appreciate it, Kevin.
Yeah, no problem. And and this is something that I wanted to add. Like when it comes to those small accounts, I like doing these little small account challenges.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes it's nice to go back and go back to a small account, especially if you find yourself in a little bit of a hole, and you're like, dang, I keep getting lost on the market. And then you find out when you go back to your small account, it's like, dang, it's because I wasn't following my strategy.
Hmm.
Because like with a small account, you have to be very careful of what your next move is, and you have to be very sure of your next move because it ain't gonna be good for the account. So yeah, good job on that. Because I mean, you were following your rules too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a hell of a flip, man. Good stuff.
yeah, and that's all you need. Like you said, entry is everything, man. So if those entries are right, then that's half the battle right there. Entry being the right entries on those trades, man. So yeah, that's a really good way to yeah, just be. I'm proud of that, and I think that like I said, it's just the beginning, and just keep following that, and just keep playing like you got a small account. Like I always say, man, if you keep trading like you got a small account, and not even necessarily like you got a small account, like trade your level for real. Like if you got $500 in your account, you can't put more than 20% of that in any trade, and so that's $200. I mean, that's $100 for a $500 account. And then if you want to put $200 in a trade and grow it to 1,000 first, then you got 20% of that is 200. That's how you should be moving, because if you die, because you're gonna die sometimes, you got 4 more lives left to get it right. Sometimes it'd be, if you fell into a hole, you had everything else right, and then you fell into a ditch on life number 2, you're not gonna fall into that same ditch because you got it. You see it there this time. But if you put all of your money in there and you blow it up, it's harder to recover from those losses or whatever. So but keep building it, because that's where that fake confidence comes in after a win or two. And then you start to forget like all of the things that were in sync when you had those previous wins, and then you blow that account, like trying to just rush the process. Because think about it, this ain't no get rich quick scheme. If you see people making a lot of money, like I forgot who I was talking to, I think it was Corleone or whatever, the other day, and it was I think it was, I don't know which one it was, but it was a member in the group. They made like 20 bands trading spot the other day, but they put up a lot of money to make that trade, to make that but we don't know what 20% of their account is, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know that. So, and that's why I don't post none of my big ones in the chat often, because it causes, what we know what we see happen. So, but yeah, it's good, man, just to be consistent and just build that confidence for real, because then you'll really know what's next. But yeah, no, I appreciate hearing the good news, man. And plus, I saw y'all holding it down, man, this week. Now, let me see what is next. So if anybody else want to share anything before I move on. Cool,
The
cool.
only thing I gotta say is just take your profit. I've noticed that the reason why most people lose is because they just absolutely refuse to take their profit. And I will say I'm definitely guilty of that. I've let
Okay.
completely profitable trades go negative, and then basically watch them struggle and watch it just sit negative and sometimes break even or even take like a 10% loss, which, and that's a bad habit to form.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
No,
so
I
if your
like that.
trade's profitable, just take the profit. Doesn't matter how big or small it is. If you're up 30%, that's a profitable trade. Just take the profit, especially if you can't read further than that.
Now, I will say I'm gonna add to that though. Now,
Okay.
if you're on Zoom with the captain or just on Zoom with me or something or whatever you want to call me, man, and that trade is profitable and it starts to move in a way you don't like, ask me and if it's a trade I put you in, ask me where you think it's going. Don't let that trade just go negative, or don't jump out at 30%. And no, I'm not going to say not to jump out at 30%, but don't jump out at 30% in fear, especially when you on the ship with me and we trekking together. Ask those questions. Ask me where do I think the stock is going, and if I put you in the trade, if the trade turns negative or whatever and it didn't go 30% yet, I'm gonna tell you to get out of the trade. I'm gonna get you out of that trade, because I feel like any trade that's under 30%, to me, I don't consider it a successful trade. Most of the time, I don't even include those wins. So that's a funny thing too. It's a lot of trades that aren't in our yearly totals because they didn't go 30% and I didn't include them. So yeah, so I don't consider, but a 30% trade is successful. But if like for Tesla on Thursday, and there's nothing wrong with this. I saw a lot of people take profit on Tesla on Thursday, on Thursday before so let me go to the Tesla chart real quick, because now it's time, man. It's time. We're moving on to the charts, but I like to talk charts, man. So let's go over to Tesla for a second. So yeah, we over the Tesla chart. So I called out the Tesla trade on Thursday and I put commentary. Sheesh, I love this Tesla setup. Sheesh, looks great on the session hourly. Beautiful, beautiful setup on the session hourly, by the way. But look, so check this out. So when I alerted that Tesla trade on Thursday, now this was Thursday here, but I alerted that trade at 12:30. That's funny. I alerted the trade right here. So it literally was 12:30. Was it 12:30 or was it? I thought it was 10:50 something. I gotta confirm. I think it was the meta trade I alerted at 12:30. But yeah, let me just see. 1 second, because I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, it was 10:55. It was right after. It was at the end of power hour, pretty much. So yeah, I alerted that Tesla trade at 10:55. So this is the 10:30 candle right here. This closes at 11:30. This candle. So this is the open of the 11:30 candle. So pretty much I called that trade out, and as you can see, from the moment that I called that trade out, it went up. It continued to go up. It gapped up and ran like a bat out of hell the next day. But this was the point. When I alerted that trade, I posted commentary in the chat also with the daily chart. And I said that so I went here for a reason. All right. So we were let's just say we were at 216. All right. So at 216, that's where price was. I said that Tesla it looked like it wanted that bearish gap fill at 220. So pretty much it wanted to go to 220. That's why I alerted the 220 calls. Because, excuse me, I felt like it could fill that gap and go into money. So it finished. This is where the SPY finished. Tesla. It ran all the way up to 219.20. So it was absolutely nothing wrong with anybody taking profit on that trade on the day that trade got alerted, because it went all the way up to like 60% on that day. So it was nothing wrong. And if you bought the retest or something like that, you probably got an even higher percentage, right? Nothing wrong with taking profit, because my philosophy is this: take profit. If you think the stock is going higher, you can buy a higher strike. Just don't go too crazy with the higher strikes heading into a Lotto Friday, because those trades will get theta clapped, not IV, not IV crush, but theta clapped, and because they're expiring, so the theta is higher on them. And but look, long story short, right before the market closed on Friday, I told the team, I said, look, we got Apple earnings. Well, Thursday, my bad. Apple earnings after the close. And Apple's the biggest stock on the planet. And we got non-farm payroll data tomorrow. I'm like, they both are market moving events. If NFP comes in hotter than expected, the market will give up all of the gains that we generated today. But if it's not, it's going to run like a bat out of hell, right? So, yeah. So some people sold and it was okay. That was okay for them to take profit. Man, Tesla gapped up. Those calls opened in the money and then it ran all the way up or whatever. But the whole point is, so my thing is this, I said all of this to say, if I call out a trade and you have questions about it, don't tell me after that, oh, well, I didn't know if it was going to do this. I'm like, but you could have asked me. I would have answered it and I would have told you exactly where I thought it was going to go. I would have, I was talking to somebody on this weekend, and I'm like, man, me, if we were on Zoom, I would have said, man, I would die before not swinging these Tesla calls on Thursday going into Friday. And if that's how I felt, I would have just been very clear about my thought process of where I thought it was going to go. But what I did do, let me just be clear. What I did do, though, I did have, so somebody did ask me too, was I don't know who it was, but I said, you could grab a Tesla 210 put hedge. I said, and they were only $30. I'm like, you can grab a Tesla 210 put hedge because if NFP comes in worse than expected, better than expected, that was it's crazy because when anything that's good that happens in this economy is bad for the Fed. So we want bad things to happen to the economy. So don't get confused when we say that if NFP, the non-farm payroll data came in better than expected, that would have tanked the market. That's what would have happened because then the Fed would have felt like there was more rate hikes that need to be done because the tightening wasn't working. So yeah, but anyway, I said that I was telling one person, I'm like, well, if because they asked, I'm like, well, you can get a Tesla 210 hedge. They only $30 because if NFP comes in worse than expected, it's coming all the way back down and it's going to give up those gains and it's going to that 210 probably going to go in the money. And they were $30. So you paid $30 for the insurance, but the trade continued to run. And that one Tesla trade that we paid $130 for went all the way up to $670. So that was a 540%, a $540 profit per option, right? And so yeah, but if you ask those questions, I'm gonna always give you exactly what I think is gonna happen. So I feel like nobody's utilizing that particular option as often when you're in my trades because I always hear after the fact, well, I did this, or I took a 10% loss, or I took this loss. I'm like, if you'd have asked me, I would have told you and we would have, or sometimes those be the reasons why I spin up a Zoom session. I'm like, okay, they need me. But, if nobody's asking questions, I'm like, the team good. They don't need me. And y'all did perform really well last week. So I'm just going to be straight up, man. Y'all performed very well last week. And I did want to share something else, though. There's an idea. I only told a few people about it. But what I want to start doing now, on Wednesdays at 4:05 p.m., it's just something we're doing. We're going to try it out. We try things out around here at 4:05 p.m. for 10 minutes. So it's just from 4:05 to 4:15. We hop on a quick Zoom session and talk about the day, just like pretty much on a Wednesday after the close, where the market is possibly going, or if we're in trades, like, I'm like, we should probably close these positions right here, or we could, this is what I think is going to happen. Let's roll these positions, or this is what my projection is for tomorrow. And everybody can share what they got going on or whatever, or where we are in the week. But something really quick is only 10 minutes. I feel like everybody got 10 minutes. If it goes longer, it goes longer. But I think if you could commit the 10 minutes, I think that's cool. And obviously, all of these things are only put in place just to help the team be more profitable because, that's just something that I'd rather do. And I also like the way Wealth Wednesday went this past Wednesday. So instead of doing Zooms on Wealth Wednesday, since that's not an official Zoom day anyhow, I'll just be in the novice lounge on Wealth Wednesday, just dictating the market. I have fun doing that with the team, and hopefully we can get more of the people, the non-subscribers over there to participate too, and maybe they can get involved and make some money too, because that's what Wealth Wednesday is for. It was for everyone, and that was the whole main reason of starting Wealth Wednesday, so the people on the free side could actually get on Zoom, and everybody in the Discord could get on Zoom, and we could, communicate, make money. Y'all ask some questions and goes like that. Cause that's what I thrive off of, the questions. If I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to start a Zoom, there's no point. Right. So, But if sometimes I got a lot to say, right? Every chart tells a story. But I thought that on Wednesday, being in the chat, the way we forecasted the meta trade, and it did exactly what it's supposed to do. It forecasted the AMD trade, and AMD ran $9 from that prediction or whatever. Meta ran, that's funny, Meta ran $8. And this was all before FOMC early in the morning. Those were solid moves that took place, right? So, I mean, what do y'all think about that? If anybody got any thoughts on the two things that I'm projecting for print.
With that 4 o'clock to 4:15, are you talking about like getting in like QQQ and SPY, or you just straight predictions for the next day?
Hey, Katie, Katie, man, Katie, man. This is my guy.
Well,
Katie. No, so I said 405 to 415, but no, that's funny because look, what he basically saying is, after 4 o'clock, right? There are ETFs that you can still trade for 15 minutes after the market closed. Now, I was saying that to get on there and just plan for do a quick recap of how, let's say, because a lot of times what happens, we're in a trade. Let's say, Wednesday, for example, let's say we were in a trade and some people are uncertain about the trade. They don't want to ask questions in the chat or whatever. And we hop on Zoom at 4:15 and I'm talking about the current trades that we have open. I'm going to talk about what I think about those trades. If people are still in them, where I think they're going, and what I think happening with the market the next day and stuff like that. So I think that's a good, it'll reassure a lot of people, and maybe they'll hop on, ask a few questions, and we can go from there. Now, if it's, that's funny, but now KD, if said there's a move that's set up while we're on there, then, I'm all, me, I'm all about a stock, man. I'm all about trading. So if a move, because sometimes a lot of earnings happen on Wednesday right after the close. I know Meta normally reports at 4:05 right after the close. So, those are times where we would be on Zoom anyhow. So, I was just saying that's just something, another thing. We're going to try it out, see if people show up. And if people don't show up, I'll cut it and fail fast and move on. I'm all about that. So, but if it's something that's beneficial and people making money off of it and receptive to it, then we'll continue it. But yeah, it's for everybody. So anybody that's on this Zoom will have access to that at 4:05 on Wednesdays when we hop on and go over that stuff. So, and I will have the bot posting that information in the chat. So yeah, but yeah, anyway, let me just move on really quickly. But yeah, real quick. So Tesla closed at 219 at 219. What is that? 96 on Friday. And so what? Hold up. Yeah, so just under that gap, it closed. But yeah, I thought that was a nice place where it did close, but it was an inverse hammer. Let me see how the weekly looks, man, on Tesla. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a nice chart. That's a nice reversal right here on Tesla. So we got a 222 reversal after that bounce off of the 200 EMA. And we had some crazy bullish volume that came in that took out the last week. So I like that for Tesla, man. So I feel like, hold on one sec, go back to the daily here for Tesla, man. That looked really good. I like that, man. And they were shorting the hell out of it on Friday. But, and the volume was lower on the bear side on Friday also. Let me get this down here one sec. Why is it like that, man? Yeah, so if we can get back over 226.40, we should be able to make a move up to 230.50 on Tesla. So that's what I'll be looking for. If we can get over 226.40, we should be able to get up to 230.50 on Tesla. So that's what I'll be looking for. Now, if Tesla loses, let's just say if Tesla loses 219.50, I'm gonna say 219.50. Actually, let me make this a little even better because I don't like to trade like that, man. I don't like trading those tight ranges. If Tesla If Tesla loses 218, let's just say 218.51, 218.50, we're gonna make a move back down to 214. I think that's a fair way to put it. I like it better that way than to give it that tight range like that, man. But yeah, I'm thinking that Tesla's gonna move. I don't think Tesla's gonna lose the non-EMA, but I got to see where the 50 is really quickly. It looked like it wants that 200 day though. But let me just see where the 50 is. 1 sec. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up another chart because I don't want to change the EMAs on here. That's what I feel, man, for Tesla. And good, that's perfect. So now I'm just gonna change this over to 50. Oh yeah, that's a ways away. All right, cool. Yeah, so then that would be my next target too. So so after 230, now obviously we got some levels before there, but after 230, we be in a huge gap fill area for Tesla anyhow, right? A bigger gap fill area. I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's already been filled. Let me take this out of here. I'll just move it. Hold on. Get this down here. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it moving because I got a few stocks to hit, but it ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna be long. Yeah, so right here, right? We got Tesla. Yeah, this would be a cool move, man, because I feel like if Tesla is able to make that move, we would be able to get back up to this gap fill area at so like I said, I ain't even looking that far ahead. I'm looking for 230.50, and then I'm looking at 236.70. Those are my two targets to the upside on Tesla. Then we can look at 242.68 to the upside. But again, that's if this market, the sentiment that we have going right now continues. And right now, everything is bullish. The market is bullish. This is historically a bullish month seasonality wise. And yeah. So, and then here, so look, check this out. This was the session hour right here for Tesla. So we really need to clear VWAP. We haven't been able to clear VWAP. We clear VWAP and this shit takes off. But like Tesla does really well with the non-EMA on the session hourly. Everybody knows that. Waiting for Tesla to turn the corner on the daily with some more momentum, and I think we'll be fine. So they just were taking profit on that. And on Friday, man. Now let me go to Apple. Apple got an interesting chart, man. I'm gonna start with the weekly on Apple. Hold up. Start with the weekly. So look, so Apple is so funny. A lot of these charts look alike now, right? Apple and Tesla look just alike, and Meta kind of look like that too, right here. Well, yeah. So this is a weekly. It's how the weekly finished. Yeah, they both look alike. So look at this. I gotta just where did hold on. There we go. Yeah, so look, so Apple is getting closer to the top of this range here. So look, this is what's been happening. This is how we'll know if we're in a bull market or not, seriously. So look here. This was June 2023. Apple ran up here, got rejected again, got rejected again in September, got rejected again here in October, and now here we are again. Does Apple break out of here? So you see I got a key level here at this level here. So if we can get over, I'm gonna move this though, but yeah, if we can get over, yeah, no, this is fine. If we can get over, I'm just gonna say 279. If we can get over 279, then Apple should be able to make a move to 182.96, which is a gap fill area. But that would also cause a wedge breakout. That would be a reversal of this downtrend that Apple has been holding for a while, and that will be a really bullish signal for the entire market because the market cannot run the way it needs to run without Apple. Apple is the biggest stock on the planet. We have rising volume for the last 2 days after earnings on Thursday too, right? And we gapped down, but then Apple came right back up and closed over its 50-day EMA. Very bullish signal for me. We had a increasing momentum, but I want to see if Apple can pull this off because hold on, look at this real quick. I go back to the weekly, this is our weekly chart for Apple. So we in this this area here too, right? So we rejected this key level here, key area here, but we still holding. This was a cup and handle formation. If I zoom out, right, it was a cup and handle that but Apple never lost the structure. Apple never lost. A few other stocks like Microsoft never lost the structure either. But Apple gave us that 222 reversal, and now it's heading. This is a bull flag now. This is a bull flag. If Apple breaks out of this range, that would also if it breaks out of this range, because look, I want to just show y'all something. So on the daily chart, that downtrend that I showed y'all, it's more concise on the weekly because each candle represents 1 week of price action. So you can clearly see that every time it went up here, it got rejected. And now we're headed here again, right? So if it breaks out, look how long this flagpole is right here. So if Apple runs out, man, if Apple breaks out of here, man, this stock has the and closes on the weekly with a breakout here, it has the potential to go back to, to run up to 200 and even further if that occurs. So, on a weekly chart, you can't look at this and trade intraday because this is a week. It takes a whole week for one candle to solidify. And if you look at this, like look at last week, for example, last week after Apple gapped down, it looked like Apple was going to run all the way back up, whatever, closed that gap, came up, got rejected, then came all the way down and finished here. So you may see something happening on one day or even here, thinking it was going to run up here, got rejected, finished as an inverse hammer. So you got to wait for a weekly candle to solidify before you make moves off the weekly chart, because unless you're playing longer swings, stuff like that, then you use the weekly. But yeah, Apple looks great, man. So for just the day trade purposes, what I'm looking for Apple, man, I'm looking for a move over. We can get over the 176.65 price level. We should be able to retest. We should be able to retest our get back over to 177, 57 or 160. That would be 177.60 would be my first target. Then my second target would be that 178.64, which is a key level. And again, that also it lines up with this area, but it would also be a breakout here. Now, if we get a candle confirmation on a daily, then we can get a continuation. And my first target would be that 182.96. That's where I would be looking for if Apple give us a breakout of this level here. So we'll keep that on watch and be watching it. Yeah, let's keep that on watch. Apple looks great. Apple looks great. Now let's go over to try to get through these, man, real quick. I'm gonna go over to, let me just hit Meta real quick, get Meta out the way. Cause man, let me just hit Meta, get Meta out the way. Yeah, man. So look, Meta finished inside on Friday. I love it. Now, I mean, look, Meta finished inside on Friday. We got a EMA crossover right here. Crossover. We got the non-EMA crossed above the 50 EMA. And we got this candle confirmation on Wednesday here, right here, came back, filled this gap that we had, and then Meta kind of it gapped back up and it closed inside. It finished inside. It couldn't make any real moves. And we like this, a inside candle is a neutralizing candle. This is a one. So neutralizing candles that neutralizes whatever the previous move was. So it resets the stock. I like inside days because sometimes inside days is pretty much when the stock has been consolidating in a range. And so let me just show y'all something else though real quick. This is the weekly for Meta. Now Meta never really lost the structure here. We had a drop down here, but the candle closed on the previous week up here, and this was very important to me last week, which is why I swung Meta calls into the previous week. We got a 222 reversal, closed that small gap that we had. And this was Meta's highest close in several weeks, right? And this was its highest close on a weekly in a while, since the first week of October. And yeah, it was a pretty big close. Now, this is my thing here for Meta. We had a great close. Meta had a great earnings, but everything, it is what it was. What happened after earnings for Meta But people are still buying Meta up right now. And if we can get over this, what I'm saying, if we can, my first target for Meta right now would be 318.82, right? So, if Meta can get over 314, I'm gonna say Meta get over 315. I'm just gonna say 315, but no, I can't, I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to leave that out. If we Meta get over 314.60, we should be able to make a move back up to that 318.82. That would be our first target. Over 318.82, we should be able to get to 220. Those calls, I mean, our 320, then our calls go in the money. But but listen to me carefully. If Meta gets over 320, it's going back to 330. That's the thing. If it happens earlier in the week, like if Meta does that, you got to take profit on Meta. You got to know how to play Meta. Meta is a very interesting stock. And if you don't have the stomach for it, take your profit, please, and just get back into the trade, because especially later on in the week, like on a Monday or Tuesday, I mean, I feel like there's so many ways to look at this, man, because if you in a trade, Meta run, you make a few $100s, you paid $100, $200 to get in the trade, and you make $300 profit, you should take it. That's $150 profit. You should take it, right? And you can buy the retest. Now it depends on where stock closes, depends on where key levels are, and if you know where support and resistance is on a stock, where those key levels are. That really plays a big part in how profitable you'll be. But I just don't like when I say things like, well, if the stock goes over this, because some people won't even hear the if it does this part. They'll just hear 330, and they'll just be holding a stock for 330 instead of looking at what the price action is showing, because there's a difference between a retest and a reversal or a retracement. You know what I mean? You got to really know when a setup is breaking down, and you can't just be holding if you don't understand what's going on and you're not willing to ask me any questions before things could get ugly for you. Because if I see something, I know a lot of traders that if they just see a stock moving, it just start to consolidate now. It ain't moving up anymore. They're going to start asking me questions. They ain't going to wait till their profits start to go away, but I feel like you should just be comfortable thinking about whatever work schedule you have. And like shout out to KK, the way she trade is she'll only trade my the call outs that happens at the end of the day, and she'll take profit before 10 a.m. because that's just the way her schedule works out. So there's no way she's standing no trade that's going, even if it continues to run after 10 a.m., she's out of that trade because she got to be able to watch it, because it's not, and the reason because my job is why I lost money on a trade is an excuse. That's not a reason to lose money. That's a poor reason to lose money. You just take your profit if you can't watch the trade. That's just how it goes. Anything else, you just gambling. And this is not a gamble. We don't gamble, man. We only gamble on Lotto Friday. So, but yeah, just saying that because sometimes, Meta will print for you if you know how to trade it. Give you another example. On Thursday, I swung after FOMC. I played the hell out of Meta for FOMC. I played calls and I played puts, and then I played calls again for the real move. And then I took my profit on them 310 calls, and I grabbed the 315s to swing into Thursday. And then Meta gapped up all the way up here to 317. Look, we closed down here at this is crazy. So we closed right here at 311.50 or 311.85 on Wednesday. Gapped up. So Meta opened at 317.30 on Thursday, and then ran all the way up to 318.80. Man, I was out of Meta at 318. You know what I'm saying? I was in the 315s. They were in the money. Look, if it was people in those trades, it came up here, got rejected at a resistance, and then sold right off, right? Came back down here, reset, and and it was ready to go again. And that's when I gave that trade idea for let me show it to you right here. This is the one I posted on Twitter right here this was it right here. The Meta, this was on the November 2nd at 8 p.m. I said this was going in the Lotto Friday. I'm like, the 315 calls, average price $78, look good for Lotto Friday. I'm betting on a bullish bounce after NFP dust settles, and always remember, no setup, no trade. So Meta, it opened up down here, and those calls, like I said, they went up 100 and something percent after I called that, because the thing is, price did gap up, but you had time to get into that trade at that price or even less. I saw it go down. So it was actually a few trades that happened with Meta on Friday. I saw that contract go all the way down to like $30 and then go back up to like 80 something dollars towards the end of the day. But that morning it went down to like 75, $60, and then it ran all the way up and went over 100 and something dollars. Like like I saw it go up to $170 per contract, and this was during power hour. But yeah, but all I'm saying is, so Meta got a neutralizing candle here. Don't just get in Meta and just play these games. If some of us already got Meta trades because I called out the 320 swings because I think Meta is going to 320. But be clear, like I said, if you don't, sometimes you don't have a stomach for it, but it's not even about having a stomach for it. It's about being profitable. And if you don't have to worry about day trades because you swung these contracts. So if Meta gaps up to 318 tomorrow, and during power hour, if you don't know where it's going and you're not going to ask me any questions, take that profit. That's a key level. That 318 level up there, that what is that, 318 82 up in that range, that's a key level area. That's a key area for Meta up in that area. So you should take profit up there. Now if Meta gets above this area, so 318.30 something is a key area for Meta. If it was to get over that area, that's where it's been having a lot of resistance up there. If it gets over that area, then it can make a move. But you can always buy a retest, and sometimes you may miss it. But knowing Meta, Meta will likely take out 318.82 tomorrow morning. It'll likely do it tomorrow morning, but we'll see how the futures look tonight at 8 p.m. See how Japan open and see what China looks like at 9:30, and we can kind of get an idea of what could possibly happen with Meta with this neutralizing candle, because sometimes Meta give us a retest first, then a move higher. But like I said, don't just assume it's going to 320, because Meta likes to play a lot of games. Meta will go up, take out that level, then pull right back first, retest the 90 EMA, then take off again. So you gotta wait for Meta. But I'm always taking profit. I like to take profit and re-enter, or if I got more than one contract, I accumulate my contracts. I'm buying on those retests. So when I'm taking profit and scaling out of the trade, it's okay. Less risk on the table, the lower the emotional attachment to the trade. But yeah, great setup on Meta. I'm looking for Meta. If it takes out 320, we should be able to take out the 52-week highs for Meta. So keep that on watch. Meta looks great. And just 1 second, I just want to take a look at the monthly, since the month just started and we just closed the month. Just want to take a look at it. Sheesh. Yeah, it looks great. Looks great. Meta looks great on the month. All right, now let's go over to Disney, man. Disney got earnings this upcoming week, and those subscriber numbers are going to be a really big key factor in Disney earning. You see my key level up here. It's been Disney rejected this level again, so it's been getting rejected at this level for a while. It's a great area right there. So hold on 1 second. So if we are able to take out this area, close over this area. So just looking for Disney to take out the if we're able to get over 385.93, we should be able to make a nice move up to that gap fill area on Disney. We got a few of them, so I'm just gonna hit a few of them real quick, because we stacked over these EMAs right now on Disney. So we got a few areas we could hit. My first target would be the 87.06, and then my second target would be this gap fill area here. Now you can hit that other target in there if you want, but that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for a move up to 88.81. Now look, so we just got to pay attention, because let me zoom out for a second so y'all can see what's really going on this Disney chart, because there's a lot of noise on this chart. This is what's really going on a weekly. We got this wedge break right here, right? And we got a candle confirmation. Got a nice candle confirmation, and it's on the move. Really strong close heading into these earnings. Now, keep in mind, so like I said last night, Netflix beat and their subscriber numbers were great. And then you had Roku with the surprise beat. Now, this thing, Roku, they missed on, I think it was revenue they missed, but it was the guide. It was the guide. They had a nice guide. They believe that they can see this type of this continuation and new subscriptions and revenue for next quarter. So that's what the street was looking at, and that's what kind of caused the stock to run. So I'm just looking for let's just see what those subscriber numbers look like for Disney. Now, remember, Disney's been missing, and we had a nice move the last quarter. I mean, last quarter too. But look, this was Disney right here. I want to show y'all something. Now, I'm just going to show y'all anyway. I ain't going to say nothing. But look, check this out right here. This was Disney in December of 2022, and this was how it took off in January, right? It just bounced down here and then it took off. So now we already getting that price pivot a little earlier here, and let's just see how it goes, man. Because like this stock it has potential to run. If they come in there and the guide is good, Disney likes to come down and then they like to make these sharp moves down and then give us a nice price pivot and surge to the upside. So just keep this on watch. Here's the monthly on Disney. Look, we got a nice move right here, and that was a reversal also. So we got full time frame continuity for the stock, man. All they got to do is hit their number that's been re-rated down multiple times. They're not expecting much from Disney. If this stock has potential to run. So keep it on watch now. And the thing is, with that being said, it should be able to have a nice earnings run up heading into this upcoming week's earnings. So, just again, keep Disney on watch, and it'll be a nice trade to trade just heading into earnings, not just for what's the word I'm looking for? Not just for the trade after earnings or whatever, but to trade as a run-up trade. So yeah, we can get over that level. It should be able to make a nice move. And I think that one second. Another one, man. Uber got earnings this upcoming week. So Disney got earnings on Wednesday after the close. So, so you got a few days for a run up on that. And Uber got earnings on Tuesday morning, so before the open. So you don't got really much time on that, but that's a good after earnings trade, right? So stocks that got earnings, got earnings in the morning, you can trade them that day. But look, so check this out, right? Very interesting flag right here on the daily for Uber. Really nice setup on this stock for Uber. If I just want to hit it like this, right? And make me go to the weekly. So Uber, we got this flag here on the weekly. On the daily, right? And you see all of these crazy moves we make. We got the 90 EMA about to cross the 50. Let me just see where the 200 is. I need to know now. Let me just move this for a second. I need to know where the 200 is. Oh, all right, that's way down. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't right there. All right, cool. So yeah, man. So Uber looks great, man, heading into earnings. Now, look, their projections are really bullish for Uber. So I would be careful, to be honest, because this stock ran up quite a bit, man. It ran up. This is the weekly. Look at this weekly chart, man. Heading into earnings, it ran all the way up here. Now, this setup looks great. It looked like it's trying to take out these highs, man. But look, this is the thing. Uber has some room to run, though. It has some room to run. So if they come in there and they guide, and the guide is good, Lyft is a totally different situation. They don't have as much price points as Uber does, and they don't have as much strength as Uber does in terms of pricing power and services. So Uber is obviously the moat in this one. But look, so check this out. We got a nice move up here, and 1 second. This is our weekly chart still. So look, so man, I'm just looking for a nice move, man. I feel like if we can get up there, and again, we got earnings, so that doesn't mean that the stock doesn't run tomorrow, because look at how hard it's been running for the last few days. People, it's been quietly running all week. You know, it's been quietly running, gap up, continuation, gap up, and now we're here. So it has room up to that 49, to that 49, 47 area. And then I'm going to show y'all this. Go back to the weekly chart again. We have some nice moves. It has a lot of levels on this chart that it can actually hit if they were to beat that earnings and guide up, because that guidance is going to be important. But I would just be looking for a nice move. I just say we got to keep Uber on watch this week, man, because again, it just has a lot of price points that it can actually hit to the upside if they come through with those numbers. So, but like I said, the only thing that concerns me is how much is already run heading into this earnings print. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but what I'm saying is that means they would have to blow that number out of the park, because that move is priced in based off of this surge that it has. So they need to come in stronger than what the expectations are based off of this move that it has made already. So yeah, so just keep Uber on watch. I still think it's going to be a good one to watch this upcoming week. Especially just I'll be watching it because I just think that it's going to be a nice one to watch. And then they're pricing in a $4 move in the stock. That's big for a stock that's going for, less than $50 per share. So that's a nice move on the stock. Now, let me hit. I got these last few to hit, but before I hit this one, I always forget to hit it. So IWM is an ETF that tracks the Russell 2000, the small cap stocks, and this is how it looks right now. So small cap's been running because you had Roku, you had Square, you had a lot of stocks, a lot of the small caps that came through and ran like a bat out of hell last week, or just these last few weeks. And so let me get out of this, because we had a broadening formation that we just expanded here on the daily. So our broadening formation has expanded to the upside, right? And extended. So look now, but if you actually just take a closer look at what's really going on, right, with this stock, I'm just going because forget that now. I just want to show y'all something real quick. Let's take that out there now. Take that out there. But well, this is an ETF, my bad. You see the volume just been increasing. We've been getting increased now. If the market is really going to be bullish, the stocks that haven't really surged like that are the small cap stocks. You got to remember, and when the market is in a recession or just in a bear market or anything, the first stocks that you get rid of are the ones that aren't profitable. And those are the small cap stocks. A lot of times, big tech, Meta, Netflix, Tesla, they all got free cash flow. They have a lot of free cash flow that they could just use, and they've been buying back their shares with it and everything. So the stock, it maintains the certain levels on the stock. Now look, the Russell 2000 ETF, the IWM, is right here testing the 50 EMA, the 50-day EMA. We break out of this 50 EMA, and this stock has a potential to run all the way up to 184.40. That's a nice move. My first target would be this gap fill area here, though. But just keep this on watch, because again, it's a lot of stocks like that got earnings, and that can really, really, really push this a little further up. So, that'll be my first target up in here. That 180, what is that? 180.30, 180, 179.86, something like that. That'll be my first target, and then all the way up to 184. So yeah, I like this chart. I like this chart. It looks great. It looks great. We got momentum. We got everything. So this is on strong watch for this upcoming week, man. Now let me go down here to I gotta go with me because I gotta hit SPY. And it's crazy how a lot of, man, this is crazy because if you just what this pivot and man, all these gap ups from SPY like several days in a row, man, just I was just wondering what the team was doing, if they were, if anybody was trading SPY or anything like that, just or QQQ. Just I saw Corleone, he traded it, but yeah, I'm just saying this is a crazy pivot right here after we got that price pivot and everything just took a move up. We're still within this Browning formation, but it's headed. I gave y'all the levels on Friday. So it once we rejected that first key level at my first level at 345.70, sorry, 435.70. The next level we get after we get over that level and stabilize above that level, we got a gap fill at the 438.67 price level, and then we got the 443.09. That's what I'm looking for right there. That should take us to the top of that broadening formation. We break out of that and then it's on. But let's just see what happens, man. A lot can happen this week. And stocks don't just go straight up. So SPY looks great, man. And here, man, this is crazy right here. This is crazy, really, really crazy move. But we got that reversal, man. Bounced off key levels and it took off. So let's see. It looks just like the Apple chart. Looks just like the Microsoft. Well, similar to Microsoft. Microsoft actually has a much better setup on it. Let me go hit that before so I don't have it listed to hit. Look, Microsoft broke out of it. So we were talking about this last week. So people who attended last week's meeting, I told y'all, I said, look, so Microsoft, it was the best performing one in terms of all of them, where it was in terms of that bull flag off of that previous cup and handle setup that we had, right? And I was like, although it's an inverse hammer right here, it still was green. It held up stronger than the rest of these stocks. And if it broke out of this, it would go. And we broke out of this and it took a move. So we got a candle confirmation on the breakout. Might get a retest first, but yeah, it's going for that 52-week high. It's going for those 52-week highs. That's where it wants. It wants that 366.78. But in order to get there, like I said, we may get a retest first, but that's where it's headed. So if the market continues this momentum, the way it's going, and then when we think about earnings, Microsoft had just not being biased about anything, I feel like Microsoft had the best earnings out of all of them in terms of because their guidance was just like okay, but I just think they had the better earnings. They had the better earnings. They had the better earnings, followed by Meta. But Microsoft had a really so when that pulled back, people were just looking to buy Microsoft up, man. So it's looking to test those 52-week highs and keep that on watch, man. And QQQ. Of course, we will be trading QQQ, man, because if tech runs the way we think it's going to run this week, possibly, then QQQ is going to be one to watch. We need to get over 370. We get over 370, then this stock can really go. That breaks us out of this bull flag on the weekly. If it breaks out of that bull flag, it'll be looking for its 52-week highs. Also, obviously, we got a few levels in between there that we will hit first, so break above 370 and stabilize. Then I'm looking at we got a gap fill area here. But so that's 370, 81 or whatever. But I'm saying that I'm not looking at that as a level. That's not one of my levels. I'm looking for a price to break over 370, stabilized, then we going to 378. Then from there, we going to take out, that I'm looking for that all-time high. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for, because that's a bull flag breakout at that point on a weekly. Smart money going to come in, and that's going to take us where we need to go. But look, here we go. Same situation as Apple. Everybody like to run around like a deer in headlights, not deer in headlights, but with this FOMO when they see the market running. And think about what the people were thinking right here when it ran up this time. Think about what people were thinking when it ran up this time. Crazy surging candle right here after FOMC, and there we go. What would you think people were thinking when it was surging and running up this time? So now here we are again. So my thing is, I ain't saying be scared. Definitely not saying that, because I don't play scared. I play just off the data and off the price action. But let's see. That it's up to, they got to prove it to me that it's ready to go. I don't even care what QQQ does until it breaks out above 370 and hold above 370. If it doesn't, I'm watching it, but it's just I'm just like, man, you ain't, until you break out of there, you ain't doing nothing. So break out of there, because each time it's sang this song before, and this is not even the strongest move that is made. So it got to break out of there first. It break out of there, it's going to run like a bat out of hell, but you don't have to trade it until it breaks out of there. You know, sometimes I won't call out a trade because I'm like, nah, that's only a $2 move or a $3 move. And I was telling y'all before, I'll see people putting up thousands of dollars in a trade only to make $200. I'm like, look, if that move is only going to be a $2 move, and I'm not saying you can't make money with a $2 move, but I'm looking for a move that's going to stabilize and give my team time to make some money. Now, it's different situations. Bull flag set up some smaller moves where we trade. But in a situation like this with QQQ, unless it's going to come back down, this is a weekly, so I mean a daily. Unless it's going to come back down and retest this key level, or I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other ways I would trade QQQ, but I'm saying like closing at 370, 367.71. It's only, what is that, a $3 move? That's a good move. That's a good move to take for off a trade. But I'm saying that and that'll be a profitable move too. But I'm saying I'm looking for the big move. I wanted to clear 370, and we can make, that's like a $8 move if it can clear 370. I want the $8 move off of it. So I'll wait for it to do that. Now we gonna need all of mega cap to make this happen, right? And that's what we're looking for to take place in order for that big move to happen. Now, CVNA had earnings last week, and this is how it finished on the daily. This is how price finished on the daily. We talked about this last week, right? We had this rising wedge set up, because rising wedges are bullish, and we had this nice rising wedge set up here. And so it came up here, rejected the 50, but it still closed fairly bullish, well, substantially bullish on Friday. It has a lot of levels that it can hit next. But I'm looking for this gap fill area first. That's my first price target for CVNA. I'm looking for to fill this gap area here first. So that is 37.87. Yeah, 37.87. That's so that would be the target, the first target that I'm looking for. Well, my first target would be 35.92, the 50, and then that 37.87, we'll call it whatever, 38, whatever. And then we can make a nice move up here. I'm looking for a nice move up here to above 40, because that's a key level area up here. As you can see, we got a nice key level area up in here that I'll be looking for us to get up into if we were able to make this move. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, keep this on watch. And it's another area in here too. My bad. I want to get that first. That's I like to hit what's first. One traffic light at a time. So yeah, but we got a nice setup on this stock, and this is the weekly chart. I love the weekly. So let's just see if we can keep this momentum going. Like I said, all of this is contingent on SPY and the overall market. Now, where is it? Netflix. So here's Netflix, man. I missed that whole win. Ty, you reminded me too. I saw you said something about it, but I was in Meta. I had so many plays going on last week, different days that Netflix, man, I wasn't even really paying attention. But look, it did exactly what I foreseen it doing a few weeks ago. I was saying that if we broke out of this range right here, but my first price target was 420. We took out that 420 and ran all the way up to my second target. You know what I'm saying? So this was a nice move. This was a move that I saw that I had this plan for a while. And then even after earnings, after it ran all the way up here and we came back down here, I'm like, it retested the 50 as long as it hold this level, it should be able to have a continuation. And that's exactly what it did. These stocks like to play games, but this was a really, really nice one. Came up, gave us that move, then came back, gave us a retest, and a lot of strength came in there, and it ran on lower volume, but it ran. And yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful setup for Netflix. So let's go back to the weekly chart for a second. So, man, so this is what I'm saying. If we can keep this momentum up, man, so over the 30, over 30, and I gotta redo some of my levels that I mentioned to before. Over 30, 434.82, we should be able to make a move up there to 436.80 and then back up to 450 for Netflix. Now it's a lot of resistance up there at 450, but if we can get it, man. So Netflix, it should not be that cheap anyway. If the market surges, we out of there. So keep Netflix on watch. Honestly, to be honest, I'm gonna say this to be safe. If Netflix, because that's a lot of money to leave behind, but not really. If you want to play Netflix, like I said, over so I said over 434.82, but I'm gonna say over 436.80. Let's just say over 436.80 because I don't want that move, because like you buy it at 434.82 and then price get rejected at 436.80. That's not a big enough move, and you can also get clapped really hard on the Netflix play. But if it breaks over this key level, then it's gonna run. So I'd rather wait for that's what we were just talking about on the last setup, about waiting for that bigger move to take place. That's gonna really make more sense, that I can actually justify. Otherwise, yeah, that's just what I feel. So keep that in play. And I'm gonna hit Roku because sheesh, man, that's just crazy though. That's crazy, man. It's just fucking crazy. Yeah, so Roku, man, it held most of its gains and just had a continuation over 86.10. We should be able to retest the all-time. I don't even know if that's not an all-time high, but at least that 98.50, that 98 price level, we should be able to get back up in that area if we're able to do that 98 44 98.37 area. If we take out 86.10, we should be able to make a move all the way up to 98.40. So that's a weekly chart, so it's not going to happen in one day. Now there are some smaller levels that can be hit or whatever, but that's my target. That's what I'm looking for. And so yeah. And again, trades like that, man, you want to just take your time with them and just let price do what they need to do. Really quickly, Walmart. So Walmart got earnings coming up in a few weeks, and I'm looking for a pullback on Walmart first, because the rest of the market's going to run. Then we should possibly get a pullback on Walmart. Maybe not, because that was a crazy breakout that we had on Walmart, and it's still holding the breakout. But yeah, I was looking for maybe get a retest of the 50, come back to the 90 EMA first, and then maybe the 50. Let's see what happens. But this is around the time where it's good to start those Walmart positions, because you can make a lot of money just off the IV from Walmart without the stock actually without even having to take a risk trading earnings. I'm just trying to see where the stock is in conjunction with yeah, man, this is weird. Yeah, I think so. Walmart could possibly, I thought it would, so we didn't double top, but technically it still could, up in this area, because we took out the highs, but I didn't even realize all of this was going on last week, man, Walmart. So that's why I'm just kind of looking here shocked, because I ain't even paid Walmart no mind last week, but that's the all-time high. We took out the all-time high, but we still rejected. Now, you don't have to, there's a few things that can happen with this, but you run up and hit those highs, come back down. So I'm looking for possibly a retest of the 50, or they may just come down and retest the 90 EMA, but that's not enough for me, man. I'm looking for a nice pullback. The 90 EMA would be nice, but the 50 would be substantial. Come back down, hit that 50, or we could hit that 161.80. But I like the 50 as a place for the stock to hit. before taking an entry on it. So just keep this on watch. Again, if it continues to move and I'm wrong, then we just missed that trade, man. That's cool. I don't chase trades. And we got enough winning trades where we don't need to necessarily. I'm hitting this because let me see. This one here. Okay. So DraftKings beat earnings last week, and the guidance was great. And look at the daily chart. Now, if you want to know exactly what the earnings was and all of that, I posted that information in the chat right after they beat with the chart. So I'm not going to go over the numbers or anything like that, but this is a beautiful breakout. I don't like this is the thing. I don't like trading DraftKings because I don't like the way the contracts move. But, if a stock gains a lot of momentum and a lot of continuation, then the implied volatility and the Vega exposure will increase on the stock. And then you could actually make a lot of money trading on options. But until I see that, I never really like trading it because the options moved really slowly now. But this is a beautiful breakout that we got right here. And really, really beautiful breakout. And it has a lot of room for this stock to run. So right now, let's see if it double tops here first, because it could double top up there. It doesn't look like it wants to double top though. And then with those earnings that came out or whatever, I really think that this stock has room to make a lot of moves. Hold on. So I think you should keep it on watch. I think you should keep this one on watch because it has a lot of legs. And let me go back to the daily for a sec. It has a lot of place that it can run. And but yeah, I just would keep it on watch. I don't think there's really nothing that can stop it. And now we in a time where everybody just want to be in a stock like this anyway, right? So you're gonna get a lot of that. But the earnings were really good, man. I mean, and I'm not surprised by that, but I'm saying like this is something to keep on watch. If the market has a continuation, you want to keep that on watch. And Square, this is another one right here. Square had a great earnings, gapped up, and then it came back down and closed right here at this 50-day EMA. So, so this is a nice one, man. I'm looking for a gap fill. I'm looking for a continuation after a bounce off of that and a gap fill up here, man. They looking for a nice move on this stock. 1 second. We got a few things. There's a few small gaps, but I'm just saying, let me just see where that really is. Yeah, right there. Looking for a nice move on this stock, man. It has a lot of potential to run. Look how much ground it's making up. And that's not even just the thing, man. We got a breakout. We got a crazy bull flag breakout on this stock and on a great earnings. Look, and then they bought back a lot of shares. They bought back, they authorized a $2 billion, was a $2 billion share buyback. So Dorsey is buying their shares back, and yeah, so they bullish on whatever's going on now. Cash App was a big part of their revenue. They talked about it on the last earnings call for Q3, and Cash App was one of the main reasons that the stock ran like a bat out of hell after earnings too. So yeah, people be sleeping on Cash App and all of that, but when Square is the company and Jack Dorsey is the CEO, I mean, the owner of the company, then you got to understand. And then they don't have as much Bitcoin on their balance sheet as they had before too. So, but they still got Bitcoin on their balance sheet. But yeah, and then they got a lot of integrations in the app, and Cash App is just as in terms of the clearinghouse and all of those other things, is just as reputable. I can't use the word reputable though, but I mean, it's just as consistent as any of these other banks that allow you to get a debit card. They're attached to a bank. If people having issues with Cash App, it's because they did a Cash App, they did one of those Cash App glitches or something like that. If you ain't doing nothing, if you did that with Bank of America, you will have issues with your Bank of America account. So yeah, so I think that's scary. I like the stock as a long-term trade, long-term play, my bad. But as far as an options trade, man, I think if we can break back over 52, back over 50, 52.15, we should be able to make a move up to 57.50. I think that's 57.50. We're up there. We should be able to make a nice move up there. It's a few levels in before there, like 54. But that's the target that I'm looking for based off how the weekly looks and how strong the earnings are, and in terms of the overall market, if we get that continuation, because it has a lot of room before real resistance. So, keep that on watch, keep Square on watch. Last one, because we got data to hit. I gotta hit this data real quick, but I'm gonna hit pens because sheesh. Man, so look, I played Penn's earnings too, man. And then I think Salim played it with me the day after earnings too. I had a target of 30, and those plays went into money. But this was a beautiful breakout, man, on Penn's, and they had some really great ad revenue, and their guidance for the future is really great. So I expect this stock to make a continuation and have a nice move going forward if the market continues. Now, again, the sector has been bullish. The sector has been extremely bullish too. So again, just looking for a nice continuation. Just look how crazy this performance was, man, and how it sustained most of its gains for the week. Square did. So I feel like if we can get back over 31.40, we should be able to make a nice move up there to 33.75 and possibly even higher. Let's just depend on where the stock goes. But that would be the target. Now, there's a long way down for puts. And yeah, I'll cover that on a chart personally. But right now, and just as an update, because I quoted the wrong level, I believe, for Meta. Yeah, so that is 315.55. So we can get over 315.55. We should be able to make a move to the 1885. And then over that, like I said, 320 and so on. But over 320 to 330, I just wanted to come back and clear that up because I quoted the wrong level. So yeah. And last things I'm going to hit on here, we have I went through all the charts. Yeah, so we got Powell on. Let me minimize this real quick. So we got Powell again. We got Powell on Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm gonna have to check a few things first, and I'll come back with that. But we got Cook on Monday at 11 a.m. She's not so bad. She's cool, and yeah, I like Cook. And we also have Waller. Waller's been a little iffy lately, man. We got Waller at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. We got Logan on Tuesday at 1:25 p.m. So we got Powell on 9:15 on Wednesday. We got Vice Chair Jefferson on Wednesday at 4:44. Why the hell they coming out on Wednesday? What's going on Wednesday? I have to do some research, man. Then we got Powell again on Thursday at 2 p.m. So there's some stuff going on. I'm gonna find out what's going on, man, because the markets ran a lot. So we're gonna have to see why Powell is coming out twice this week. We got the trade balance on Tuesday. We got consumer credit on Tuesday. We got jobless claims on Thursday and consumer sentiment on Friday. Now, these are the earnings we have reporting this upcoming week. We already hit a few of these, and I told y'all what I thought on them, but there are a few others that could possibly be market movers. And so just really quickly, sometimes because of the logos, now TripAdvisor, man, keep TripAdvisor on watch. Just keep it on watch. That's all I'm saying. Keep TripAdvisor on watch for this upcoming week. They report on Monday after the close. Keep TripAdvisor on watch. Now, we already talked about Uber. We already hit that. We got Upstart. They reporting now. Peter, this is your stock, man. Rivian is reporting on Tuesday after the close. I don't know.
Man, stop it.
Man, that's one of your stocks, bro. That's one of your stocks, man. So they reporting on Tuesday after the close. They're pricing in a $3 move in the stock. I don't trade Rivian, so that's Peter's stock. And yeah, And yeah, if you search Rivian in the chat, just the ticker, man, watch how many times Peter name comes up. DDOG reports on Tuesday pre-market. Oxy is reporting. I don't really know too much about what Oxy is doing now. Maybe Corleone, but I know he said he took a break off that sector, so whatever. But so I haven't really been keeping an eye on Oxy. Now, let me see. So Wish got earnings. KK, ain't that where you used to get all your clothes from? Wish, ain't that where you used to shop? But we don't trade that stock anymore. It used to be a meme stock a while ago, but that was one of them stocks, man.
Just be saying anything.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers is another stock to keep on watch because look, so keep in mind. So after what happened with Roku and then what happened with Paramount, so keep Warner Brothers on watch. That's another one to keep on watch. That's possibly gonna have a nice move. Now on Roblox, I don't really know what's up with Roblox these days, but my guess is, man, with this is I'm gonna pull up the chart in a second just before we get off of here because, man, I just got a feeling about certain stocks because of what's been going on, and this is one of them stocks that I got to look at the chart. So let me get through this so I can look at that chart real quick. But man, yeah, so that's another one to keep on watch. We have Affirm reporting. This is another one. Now you saw what happened. Now Affirm ran last week because of that partnership with Amazon. They've been had a partnership with Amazon, but this is something different that they got going on that kind of caused the stock to surge. Let's just see what the guidance is. Now, this has a potential to run. Now, you got to understand market cycles. And we're in one of those cycles where certain stocks are guiding up. Because think about it. This is one of them quarters. We went through a lot of turmoil and a lot of stocks did guide down. But some of these small cap stocks is their time. They had a good earnings last quarter, I believe, and ran. But that's another stock that I need to look at the chart to see what the technical, setup is on it. Also, now, there go Mara on there. I'm not really too sure about Mara. I know that those stocks, that's one of those Bitcoin stocks or whatever. Obviously, Disney got earnings. Now you got your meme right there, the AMC. We won't really hit that now. Twilio got earnings. It's whenever one of them stocks to kind of keep on watch. Where we go? Because some of these, their ticker it'd be kind of weird. So you got to kind of scroll through and look and see what's oh yeah, Win. So I thought Win had earnings already. I don't know why I thought that, but keep Win on watch keep this on big watch. This is one of them ones you want to keep on watch because yeah, just keep Win on watch. This one of them casinos. Unity is cool, but it's not one of them stocks that I'm really looking forward to, like really watching out for. But yeah, the ones back, just as quick recap, you got the I see you got a Virgin Galactic on here too, man. Just it's not SPCE. I don't know what's up with them, but I saw a lot of news lately on them. But that you just had to shout it out because we used to trade that back in the day a lot. But yeah, keep Warner Brothers on watch, keep Affirm on watch, keep Roblox on watch. Obviously, Disney. You got Upstart, you got Uber, definitely Uber. You got TripAdvisor on here, man. So these stocks, you definitely want to keep them on watch. So yeah. And let me go just really quickly hit those. I just want to see those two charts on those stocks because if they are, let's see, Roblox. Yeah, man, this thing kind of running already. Yeah, they had a nice move. Sheesh. Okay, that's what it's trying to do. Okay, we got a gap area up here. Nice gap area. It looked like it's trying to get up there to that gap. So we got some legs on it now. This is a cheap stock too, so those options are print on a nice move, man. Let's see what they doing and how get the weekly too, real quick. Weekly. Hold on, weekly for a second. Okay. Oh yeah, this looks nice. This looks nice, man. So yeah, I like this stock, man. I like this one right here. They pricing in a $5 move for the stock for earnings. Now again, they don't report until Wednesday morning, but this is, look at this setup on it weekly, man. Look at this wedge right here, or flag. It could be a bear flag, but at the same time, you know, stocks, a lot of stocks been breaking out lately. That has been oversold, man. So you see that bounce off the lows down here. Nice bounce. So it look like it's trying to get us a reversal now. If it don't break out of here, we reject this. This is a weekly chart, by the way. But yeah, if this plays out right, that'll be a nice move up to I said 340, up to 40. And I like this, man. I like this stock for just keeping it on watch though, because like I said, I'm gonna do some research on their earnings. I'm gonna do that tonight. Go and just take a look and see what what it's looking like, to see what the whole stock is looking like. But personally, I'm looking for possibly some options out there a few weeks out, and possibly anyway, we'll talk about it a little later. I just think that if the data looks good when I go and do my numbers or whatever, a lot of these stocks, these small cap stocks that's been oversold and beaten down, have been beaten. I'm gonna have to go look at the numbers from last quarter, see what they're projecting, what they rated it down to, see what the balance sheet looked like, and just then I'll go from there. So, but I'll let y'all know. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this on watch. I like the setup a lot. I like the setup a lot on this stock heading into earnings. So let me just make a note of this real quick. Let me make a note to keep roadblocks on watch. So I made a note of it, so I know I'm gonna keep it on watch. Yeah, roadblocks. Keep that one on watch. So all right, so we got roadblocks, and what was that? That firm, real quick. This used to be KK stock, and she just stopped talking about it. It should be KK stock, man. But firm used to run, man. You see how high the stock used to be, man. It used to be, man, this stock ran up a lot, man. So we all the way down here heading into earnings. We got a nice move on it, broke out of that flag right here, or you can call this a falling wedge too, but it could be a bull flag, it could be whatever you want it to be, whatever you see, right? Whatever you can play. And so it looked like it's trying to make a nice move, man. And I like the way the stock looked heading into its earnings print. And again, it started running because of the news. But again, these small cap stocks are a lot of these stocks that get hit, that have been getting hit a lot, and they've been down a lot. So they have a lot of room to move if something goes. And again, you can know, I don't know, but again, I don't know nothing about their numbers. I know PayPal beat, but PayPal had been rated down so much, and so it wasn't really much place for PayPal to go. But just looking for a trade, you're just looking for a trade off of this, man. If we can break over that 23.15, we should be able to close this gap up here. Now, rejected this gap fill area, so I'm just gonna say, so over that area, man, we should be able to make a move back up to 24.50, but I'm looking for that 25.63. Now on a weekly chart, we got yeah, that was a crazy surge we got. But you see, we got breakouts, man. We got breakouts happening on the stock, man, and it can actually make a lot of move. It can make a move, and it look like, so like, again, if the market has a continuation, we should be able to get a move off of this. I like stocks running up in the earnings. So even if they miss earnings, it can be a nice run-up trade as a catalyst, because what happened with PayPal and all of the Amazon talk. So let's just see how this plays out. But these are the times where certain stocks make these moves, because think about it like this. This isn't even necessarily about earnings. If you're bullish on a stock and the whole market's been down, and again, this stock is not profitable at all. So if a stock is not profitable, they sell these stocks first. But now that the market is on a rebound, and then you got stocks like consumer discretionary running, stocks like a firm can really make a, you have a really strong use case for it, and a lot of people are just spending anyway, so yeah, so just keep it on watch. I think that it has potential to make a nice move for earnings if we get a good guidance out of the company, because that's been the issue. And yeah, but that's all I have. I know we went over the hour. We hit it. We went right to 2 hours. So it's 4 o'clock now. Man, again, thanks for hanging out, man. And I will see y'all later on. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks for tapping in.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Antoine. Appreciate it, bro.
Y'all have a good one.
Everyone have a good one.
Y'all too.
All right, bro. Appreciate
you. There we go.
Hey, we got about 40 trading days left in the year too.
Oh man. See, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good, man. How many of them you think you're gonna trade?
Let's go for 20.
You know, see, that was the wrong answer. I'm gonna say, you know,
Wrong
whichever
answer?
one's got the setup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it like that. Whichever one's got the setup. So yeah, but no, it's cool. We're gonna have a good week though. We're gonna have a good week.
All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, peace.
All right, see you.